Rockwell, radio.
Brothers and sisters,
Radio. Rockwell, radio.
brothers and sisters,
Radio. Rockwell, radio.
brothers and sisters,
Radio.
Yo, this is Problem 13 of Wolverine.
Radio.
I'm listening to
Radio.
DJ Rockwell. Holla!
Peace. This is DJ Rockwell. Was good. Welcome to episode number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the Rockwell Radio Show. Today's show, let me get the music going real quick. Today's show, we discuss one of the most important, life-changing events that has happened in Black America. Matter of fact, not America, the world. The world. We need everybody that's going to be watching to go ahead and share this video. Hit the like button. Share the video. Hit the like button, because today we're going to go hard on one of the most, I'm going to say most important, because it changed the direction of history. It changed the course of American history and world history. I'm talking about the Million Man March. October the 16th, 1995. On a cold, brisk day, it was a Monday. I'm talking about the Million Man March. Today, we're going to talk about its impact, its significance. And I was just going to talk, and I wanted you to just check me out. And if you were there, maybe you'll chime in, because we're going to open up the phone lines and talk about it. I'm going to talk about, and here's the funny part, y'all. The funny part is, in 25 years since the Million Man March, I never really put pen to paper. I never kept a journal. I never wrote down my thoughts, my feelings, and how it impacted me so deeply until now. So today I need everybody to hit that like and share button, because today we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how the Honorable Louis Farrakhan not just changed Black America, not just changed America, but the world, by calling 1 million Black men in Washington, D.C. So we have to have an honest dialogue as Black men about the pledge that we took. We have to have an honest dialogue about where have we come since 1995 to 2020. So let's share. Hit that share button. Hit the like button. If you're watching by YouTube, I appreciate you. If you're watching by Facebook, I appreciate you. But we don't want to do this party alone. We want people to join us on this very, very important conversation. So hit the like, hit the share, hit the like and hit the share. And if you're watching again via YouTube, I appreciate y'all. But what makes this more dope is if you hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, because I'm telling you, we're going to be coming back every Saturday with something live to talk about. Some dope information, some great conversation. And today, it's going to be kind of just a testimony for me. A testimony to talk about how this singular event changed the course of my entire life. It really did. So, hit the like button, hit the share. And in particularly, if you were there, I want you to call. I want you to call me. We're going to open up the phone lines, and we're going to talk about this. Call us later. So the number you see at the bottom of your screen right now is going to be up again a little bit later. But before we get to that, We have to thank Almighty God for inspiring the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to call for such a historic event. And I say that for a particular reason, because as you've noticed in the last 25 years, the media has made an attempt to separate the message from the messenger. I'm going to say that again. The media has tried to make an attempt to separate the message from the messenger. They have tried to write this completely out of history. They have tried to minimize, do away with, simplify, and absolutely recategorize this life-changing, world-affecting event called the Million Man March that affected Black people who were there, not who were just there, but people who watched from home. World leaders who were watching from their place. But you know who got affected the most? The devil. You ain't hear me? He got affected the most because he saw the threat of what that was. What man can call 2 million men? And they show up on their own dime, their own expense. He didn't pay not one of their way to get there. What does that mean? It meant that they had an influence, that the minister had an influence that they had not expected. And that influence hit your little brother. So again, before I get into the show and start talking about this, I'm going to keep hitting that like and share button. I need everybody to tune in right now because I want to hear from you. I need you all to get over to the YouTube spot if you're watching via YouTube and hit that subscribe button, man. Hit the subscribe button because I want you to join the DJ Rockwell family. And I want to join your family that we spend this Saturday together. Yeah. We'll spend Saturdays together. And even if you can't watch it on Saturday, pull it back up on the next day, Sunday, Monday. But keep tuned to what's going on right here with DJ Rockwell every Saturday. Let's get to it. I want to be as candid as I can. I want to be as open and transparent as I can. Because like I said, I haven't really discussed this in the detail that I want to give you today. In the detail I want to give you today will be the first time I've really done so in 25 years. So I took the time for the first time, and I really have to ask myself why I did that. Vaughn, why did you wait 25 years to write down what you was thinking, how it affected you, how it impacted you? You know something? Because when you have an event, a life-changing event, I understand now why sometimes the minister said, well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told me, and I'm just now getting it. Now I know what he means. Now I understand what he means when it took decades for a seed to manifest into its full meaning, its full purpose, its full worth. So now, I thank God that he's given me that long to write down these thoughts to share with y'all. We'll be talking about atonement, the pledge, of course. We're talking about how our solutions do not rely on politics. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Ice Cube, and I didn't want to use today to get into the Ice Cube thing. I've said most of my thoughts in social media already. And again, everybody's already discussing it. It's really been beat to death. But here's one thing that's an absolute fact. Our solutions do not alone rely on politics. Does that mean we should ignore them? No. Should we vote? Absolutely, you should vote. But what Cube said was absolutely correct. Get something in exchange for your vote. But back to the march. You're tuning in to DJ Rockwell right now, the Rockwell Radio Show. I was 22. I had long dreadlocks down my back, man. And I had moved to Atlanta from St. Louis, Missouri, my hometown. Bam. And I'm not going to make this my life story, but I want to make this concise, give you context, and give you the situation that got me to Washington, D.C. So I'm in Atlanta for approximately a year, and I encountered this sister and we started dating and kicking it, and she was one of them pro-black sisters. You know, I wasn't what I'll call woke, although I was a big reader. I was familiar with the nation through hip hop music, which is why I put such an emphasis on it today. I was familiar with Black nationalism. I was familiar with Pan-Africanism. I was familiar with somewhat of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because I had thumbed through a Final Call here or there at the age of 21 or 22. But when I got to Atlanta, I met this sister who was like, yo, she was like that cat from CB4. I'm black, I'm black, I'm black. Okay, so we kicked it a while. And then as we moved from 94 through 95, everything you heard on the radio, everything you heard on television, Black America was talking about one subject and one subject only. Black America was talking about one thing. You know what they was talking about? The Million Man March. And I'm like, yo. I was like, if I hear this one more time, I don't know nothing about this march thing, but it kept coming to me every day in my sleep. That was like, yo, are you going to the Million Man March? I was like, well, damn. Damn. I think I better go look into this thing. And the sister that I was dating casually at the time, she was like, bruh, you getting your ass on this bus. You getting your ass on this bus. Okay, be easy, And I will always have to thank her, because had it not been for her, I may have never got on the bus to DC. But I want to start talking about that event the moment I got on that bus. The moment I got on the bus is how it started to change my life. You're watching the DJ Rockwell radio show, or the Rockwell radio show. Make sure you get ready to get your phone ready, because I want to hear from you as well. I want to hear from you as well now, because we're talking about our experiences and how the march changed our life. We're talking about how this singular event changed the course of our history. So not only can you call in, you can make a comment and I'll see your comment. And again, we just might put it on the screen if it's relevant to what we're talking about. So let me tell y'all, man, I got on this bus with at least 50 other brothers a cold Sunday night and rode through the night to DC. And I'm 22 years old. I had no idea. I'm going to tell y'all the funniest part of this. The funniest part of this, I didn't even bring a camera. Facts. I was young, naive, and I had no idea what I was riding into. I had no earthly clue that I was riding right into history. So as we was on the bus, it was a little chatter, because you got to remember, it's 1995. This is the era of gangster music and the minister societies and the boys in the hood era, and black men was tense. It wasn't a whole lot of, what's up, my brother? At this point, Black America, black men in particularly, I'm gonna put it in a word, we were standoffish. with one another. Our very own brothers. We were standoffish with one another. So I could feel on the bus a sense of hesitancy. So although we sat next to one another, we made small talk. We talked about how we felt about going up and what we expected to see, or how many we thought just might be there on the mall when we got there, or we thought about was the cops going to swoop down on us. Some people were afraid, some people were excited, some people were. We were all in the moment and didn't know what to expect. I didn't. Again, here I was. I was wearing a light white jogging suit that day. And again, I had dreadlocks flowing down my back. And I might have had a blunt in my ear that day. I don't remember. 22, on my way to the Million Man March. And I want to refer to my notes, if y'all don't mind. I wrote down that I was excited because of the unknown. And of course, there was a radio on the bus as we were driving through the country from Georgia to DC. And all I could hear was talk about the Million Man March. All up and down the highway was this one subject. From people calling in, talk radio, and every stop, there was somebody asking, yo, y'all going to the march? Yeah. But I want to get into something that's very important. The opposition that the march faced that made a lot of people stay home. In fact, I went online and I found a clip of it. I found this clip and I want to see if I can play some of this real quick. It's not that one. It's this one. Let me get my stuff together. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see what the people were dealing with, what the minister faced, and what black people who got on the bus, what they faced with going to the Million Man March. This was the sentiment. Watch this.
This march will capture a political moment, and that political moment is a sense in the black community that is under siege. Whether a million men. In the morning to get in an adversarial argument with someone who I can't even see. But the fact of the matter is, what we're doing in this march, my agenda and Mr. Farrakhan's agenda, I'm not going to be judged by everything that's in his mind. What we're going to do is what we say. We're going to stand up. I'm going to stand up in the nation's capital and make it absolutely clear that no longer will we not take responsibility for the problems that exist in our community. Let me move taking responsibility and using indigenous resources to solve our problems does not fit Mr. Meyer's agenda, then so be it. Let me do this. Let me move it away from it.
Did y'all hear that? Did you hear that? This is what we were faced with at the time. On the bus was this kind of dialogue. The backlash, in fact, I wrote in one of my memories, Can't hear the clip. Let me see if I can do it again because I need y'all to hear that. I need to get this right because I need y'all to hear this. One of the big adversaries was the preacher. The preacher was like, matter of fact, y'all stay away from the march. Stay away from the march? Huh? We're going to try it again. I want y'all to let me know if you can hear it. We're going to try this one more time, man. I'm still getting it right. Ain't no secret to it, y'all. Ain't no secret that we still getting this together. But I want you all to hear this. Let me know if this is something you can hear or not. Because I want you all to hear this exchange between this cat and one of the pastors that was there. One of the pastors that was there. Let's try it again. I don't know if y'all can hear that now.
The whole purpose of this march is to hail Farrakhan as a legitimate, powerful voice of the black community. This is the problem with the march that is racial bigotry, it's racial rhetoric, it's black separatism, and it's even opposed to what Farrakhan's agenda is opposed to racial mixing, misinterrogation and racism, old-fashioned style. Reverend William, may I respond? Sure, go ahead. Now, that is sheer idiocy, because the problem with Mr. Myers and those people who are in the cottage industry of the civil rights business is that they only prosper on the victimization of African American people. Until we stand up and take control of the destinies of our community and put people like Mr. Myers out of business. What happened to your unity? What happened to your unity? And we began to take care of the affairs of our community. See, I didn't take this opportunity early in the morning to get in an adversarial argument with someone who I can't even see. But the fact of the matter is, what we're doing in this march, my agenda and Mr. Farrakhan's agenda, I'm not going to be judged by everything that's in his mind. What we're going to do is what we say. We're going to stand up. I'm going to stand up in the nation's capital and make it absolutely clear that no longer will we not take responsibility for the problems that exist in our community. Let me move taking responsibility and using indigenous resources to solve our problems does not fit Mr. Myers' agenda, then so be it.
Did y'all hear that? Because I want to set the stage for what was happening. I want to set the stage for what was happening. There we go. Because what was going on as we got on the bus, people were talking about, yo, don't go to the march. One line that I wrote in my notes that I'll never forget. I'll never forget this line that I heard on the radio on my way to DC. Somebody said, if Jesus ain't in it, neither should you be. They said, if Jesus ain't in it, neither should you be. What? What? So I'm 22. Here I am on the bus. Am I going to some anti-God movement? What is this? Why was the Christian preacher so against the march? Why were I later learned? Let me go on with some of my notes. Again, this is DJ Rockwell. You tuned in to the Rockwell Radio Show. This is I want you all to get involved because today we're talking about the event that changed our life. We're talking about the Million Man March. In just a few more minutes, as I get into these notes, we're going to have the phone lines open and you all a call. And I want to hear your story as well. But for now, come on, hit that like and share button, y'all. If you were there, I want to hear from you. If the Million Man March affected your life, I want to hear from you. But for the meantime, hit that like and share button. Hit that like and share button, y'all. We got to get this show up to where it's supposed to be. because we talk about the issues that matter. And I'm going to get more into my notes, what's going on here. My brother said he'd like to hear what we had to say about the Million Man March. Oh, we're going to get into that. And what you say, bro, they didn't realize. Oh, fact. Absolutely fact. So we get there. We get to DC. It's dark. And we couldn't barely see our hands in front of our face. So we found our way into the mall through the rail system. I forget what it's called. And we walked all the way from the train station to the march. Yeah, B. That's what they said, man. If Jesus ain't in it, neither should you be. I heard somebody say that on the radio. And once I got there, and again, I'm only 22, and I keep saying that for a reason, because I mean, how well-rounded and aware are we at 22 of the impact that we're about to walk into? I wasn't. And I see throngs of people everywhere, and it's still dark outside. It's people everywhere, and I hear for the first time the Muslim prayer. I had never heard that before. It was said in Arabic. I remember, although I went by myself, by the time we got there, I had built somewhat of a kinship with the other black men on the bus. And most of us tried to stick together because we knew we wouldn't know anyone else when we got there. Matter of fact, I should make note of this. The people on the bus were from every walk of life. Some were old, some were young. Some were doctors, some were lawyers, some was barely eating a meal every day. Some were employed, some were unemployed. Some were married, some were single. Some were college students, some were veterans of the armed services. They all came from everywhere. And as the ice broke, we got to know one another a little bit better. So let me get back to some of the notes. I talked about the warnings we heard about. I talked about the stay away. And I want to talk about as the sun rose. And of course, when the sun comes up, you can see a lot clearer on the mall. And as the sun got higher in the sky, the further you could see. I remember seeing brothers in trees, brothers on top of light poles, brothers on top of each other's shoulders. And as we got closer to the noon hour, as each speaker came and went from the podium, I remember it being so densely packed. So densely packed. I mean, I can't overemphasize this, that you could have let the muscles in your body just go limp, but you were so densely packed, the crowd wouldn't let you fall. You ever been to a rap concert and you're on the floor and it's like a mob and you feel the crowd move and you have no choice but to move with it? It was like that, but 20 times more. It was so condensed and you didn't care. You didn't get mad at that. You didn't get mad at that. My brother said it was called Metro. Thank you. Metro was the name of the rail system. You felt secure. And that's one of the notes I wrote to myself. I didn't feel no threats. I didn't feel that I would come under any harm by anyone that was there. I didn't feel that even though I was in a sea of moving black men, I didn't feel that not one of them there was going to do something to Brother Vaughn. The spirit on the mall was so surreal and so indescribable of peace that you could touch it. You could touch it. You could feel the spirit. I write in my notes, one of the other things I saw again and again and again, I saw black men crying. What? You saw black men crying. What was we crying for? Probably because of that same reason. That same reason that, yo, you mean I can let down my guard here? I can be easy. Ain't nobody trying to stick me for my paper here. Nah. Here's one thing that I witnessed that I never forget. Now, even though at that time I was a light little weed smoker, but I didn't bring no weed to the mall, One of the things I witnessed that I'll never forget is I saw a brother light up a cigarette, not weed, a cigarette where we were standing. And the people around him took such offense to that. And again, where we were standing, I guess, when you go somewhere where there's smoke, you might be offended by the smoke. But this brother, without anybody saying a word to him, felt everybody look at him like, all this cat did was look around like, oh, hell. And he put that cigarette on the ground and stomped it out. Stomped it out. That was one of the things I witnessed. I saw, and this touched me beyond. I saw a man, and again, you heard me talk about how densely packed we were. Packed in this place. A man had to get to the restroom, but the restroom was like half a football field away. And it would have been like trying to escape, through it was impossible for him to get to the restroom. It was a younger brother. I'll never forget this. And apparently he was about to, have an accident on the mall. And that would have been bad, obviously. I saw the brothers pick this dude up and crowd surf him over the crowd till he got to the porta potty. I never seen nothing like it before. Never seen anything like it before. The spirit was something that you could feel, touch, see with every speaker that came across the rostrum. You've never seen anything like this. And we're almost at that time to open up the phone lines. Again, this is DJ Rockwell. You're tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. And we're talking about the impact of the Million Man March, celebrating 25 years yesterday. 25 years. Were you there? Were you in the building to witness that moment that changed world history? I want to hear from you if you were there. I do. I want to hear from you. But for the meantime, let's go ahead and like and share. I want to hear from those who were there, even if you weren't there. Did you watch from home? Share the video. Maybe somebody's watching that saw this, because what happened that day cannot be written out of history. What happened that day must be remembered. It must be talked about. It must be passed on to our children, our children's children. Generations going forward must know about the miracle known as the Million Man March. So, brother, I want to hear from you. If you was in the building, I want to hear from you. What did it mean to you? I'm going to get you some more of my notes. This this was kind of deep. I remember from where we were standing, we were like probably midway to the back. It was a lesson in sound. And then I would later learn in the nation that sound travels at 1,120 feet per second, right? So where we were standing, everything that we got a few seconds later. So depending upon who came on the stage or who came up on the jumbotrons, you would see the crowd in front. You would see them move, and then you would hear the sound come back like this. And it was like a wall of sound that hits you. Because you were like, what am I screaming for? Oh, that was what they screaming for. I had never seen anything like it. I didn't know what I was going to be walking into that day. Another thing that I can remember, and I've heard the minister talk about this time and time again. I heard the minister say that he was asked if he would use this opportunity to proselytize Islam. So for those who might not know what that word means, I didn't. It meant that, well, Minister Farrakhan, here you go. Are you using this to empower you? Are you using this event to big up Islam? Are you using this to make men join the nation? Minister said, nah, not at all. You know what the minister did? You know what he said? He said, I want this event to be used for you to go join an organization of your choice. Join a church or a place of worship of your choice. Join a group or an active fraternity of your choice, but go back to your communities and make it better. This wasn't about the minister at all, and he made that clear. It wasn't about him. You tuned in to the Rockwell radio show where we're talking about the 25th anniversary of the Million Man March, the beautiful impact it had on my life, on your life, and the world. I took a moment to put together something I want you all to see. Like I said, I was young and foolish. I didn't even think to bring a camera. I didn't bring a camera. So since then to now, I've started assembling photos of the event, photos and clips of the event that I can at least pretend like I was ready. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what. Let me get my ducks in a row over here real quick, man. Let me get my ducks in a row because I want y'all to see this. If I can get this together real quick. I want y'all to get this together. I want y'all to see this real fast. Y'all bear with me as I get this right. Let's see if this is coming up on the screen right. It's funny how when you test stuff, it works, but when you need it to work, it don't work. There it is. So let's see. Let's see if this works. Because I want you all to get a visual of the impact of what I saw. Because you can't really describe this any other way. if you haven't seen the photos, and I'm sure you've seen the photos by now. I'm sure you've seen them. And y'all bear with me as I get this right, man. I'm sure you've seen it. But let me know if you can hear this. Let me know if you can hear this.
Good morning, everybody. The nation's capital is preparing for what could be one of its most memorable days. As many as 1 million Black men are preparing to march on the Capitol Monday in what organizers say will be an inspirational call for action. But even before the event takes place, it's sparking controversy.
Thousands, young and old, from all corners of the country, here to participate in ceremonies of celebration, atonement, protest. Here to be praised and challenged by Black preachers and politicians, poets and entertainers. At the end of the day, a long, passionate, and confrontational speech from the controversial leader of this march, Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam.
This isn't about Farrakhan. This is about respect, unity, and love for the brothers. We're trying to get something out of this, out of life. We're tired of being behind everything. We want to be in charge sometime. We want. Spiritually, morally, mentally, socially, politically, and economically, for the benefit of myself, my family, and my people. I say your name, pledge that I will strive to build business, build houses, build hospitals, build factories, and enter into international trade for the good of myself, my family, and my people. I say your name, pledge that from this day forward, I will never raise my hand with a knife or a gun.
Okay, I had to just put the mic up to the screen to figure out why in the world that didn't work. But I needed y'all to see and hear that. I needed y'all to see and feel that, because you can't even have this discussion if you don't even have those kind of visuals. I see my Uncle Jesse in the house. Love you, Unc. Love you, man. Love you. Muhammad in the house. I see you. My brother Brandon in the house. I see y'all. Big Mike, I see y'all. Man, I appreciate you. Man, I just don't want to see. I want to hear from you. I want y'all to call in, man. We had the last 15 minutes of the show. If you saw it, if you witnessed it, call in. Let me hear from y'all. I noticed that a lot of people, they watch the show on their phone. So I know that might be a little difficult. If you have access to a second line, call us up, because we're talking about the event that changed our world. So I can put this back without making so much noise. But after I witnessed that, my life wasn't the same. The bus ride home after hearing that pledge that you just heard, and of course, that wasn't the extent of the pledge in its entirety, but the pledge called on Black men to not beat and kill one another. Let's talk to somebody. You're on the phone with DJ Rockwell. Welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show. What's good with you?
Yo, this is Brandon, man.
Big
Hey, can you
B.
hear me?
What's good, my brother? Loud and clear.
Oh,
You're breaking up on me just a little bit. Say it again.
Okay, I'm on the back porch just grilling food for the family. Everything's good.
That's what's up, man, bro. Thanks for calling. So now, if I'm correct, you weren't there, but what did you think about that video?
I saw it. I wasn't there, but I did watch it on CNN. And it's funny, as I say that, I remember the manager saying, folks, thank you, CNN. Thank you, C-Fan. It was crazy. So I definitely watched it on CNN. I think on one of them. And, what comes to mind was the media blackout of the event.
Exactly.
Because everything went so beautifully after the initial coverage. I don't know how much it was, but nobody talked about it. Even didn't say 20. How many years later is it?
25.
25 years later, nobody talked about it. That's one of the things that comes to mind. It's so, it's so beautiful. And what I know in my heart and my soul is that we have to recreate that event, but this time we need to deal in our community.
It sounds like you're talking to me through a hands-free device of some sort. Your call is.
Yeah.
Can you be direct?
Yeah. I was on a. Can you hear me now?
Oh man, I had to turn the volume down. Now there you go. You're in the house now. Make that last point you was making.
The point I was making was that we need to recreate that event, but not in the same fashion that the minister did it. But we have to do it ourselves in our family, in our community, especially now that the country is so jacked up. And Black people, we know we don't want Trump in, but we don't know if we can trust Biden, and everybody's kind of all over the place.
Right.
And then we to this date, like 25 years later, we've tried everything except unity, and that is going to take the spirit that was at that march 25 years ago on a nationwide scale and a worldwide scale for us to get back there again.
Absolute facts, my brother. Thank you, Black man. Love you, soldier.
Yes, man. Love you too.
All right, peace.
Peace.
The phone lines are open, 404-919-7399, 404-919-7399. I apologize for the technical difficulty we experienced to getting that video to you. Again, I'm still trying to figure out how to learn every aspect of the podcast, but every week I'm trying to get better. Every week I'm trying to add something. Every week I'm trying to learn how to give this to you in a better manner. But I can't do it without you. I need everybody. If you haven't shared the show, if you haven't liked the show, if you haven't been to YouTube and subscribed, you can go to YouTube and / The Rockwell Radio Show. Hit the subscribe button and get informed, get notified every time we have a live show, every time we have a subject like this. Because next week we're going to be bringing back some exciting guests to talk about issues that matter to you. But the phone line's open, 404-919-7399. We're at the last 10 minutes of the show. And I tell you what, man, I'm almost through most of the notes. Most of it I've recited by heart. I think the heart of the march was the pledge. I talked about the pledge. Because the question we have to ask ourselves as Black men today is, have we kept the pledge? Have we kept our word? Man, we have to let that sit for a minute. Think about all that was said. If you haven't been there, or excuse me, if you haven't heard the pledge, what's a pledge, you might ask? A pledge is, there's a lot of talk about contract with Black America right now. The minister gave us a contract with God. We sat there and we held up our hands and we said, I say your name. This. I say your name. This. You are on live with DJ Rockwell. Welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show.
Yeah. The nation's #1 DJ Rockwell was goody.
My big brother, always an honor, always a pleasure. The mighty Apocalypse, man. You was in the building.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. It's so much. I'm not gonna take a lot of time, and I'm not gonna go crazy. You know how I can get. But no, but yeah. It was a beautiful day. I had a vending. I was vending. I was about a year and a half in the ranks. Me and my brother, we had done a mini-man march on. They wanted to pull out the goodie bag. Not a wannabe, gonna be one in a million. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we was pushing. And but just quick, man. Some of the things, like, okay, right in front of my table, the older brother walked past the table. He dropped his wallet.
Right.
Fat wallet. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? And then I saw a young man. He had to be about 17, maybe 16, 17 years old. He ran. He picked the wallet up, and then I'm talking about one of them jokers look like he's straight from the hood, right? He picked the wallet up. He said, "Sir," ran up to the brother. He dropped your wallet. Gave the man his wallet. That right there blew my mind. First of all,
come on, man.
But that was how the day was. And then there was a brother standing behind my table, brother Steve Ali. He was in the Nation prior to 75. You know, I was fresh in the Nation. We used to talk all the time.
Right.
Know? So, but he never made his way back at that point. But man, I looked back. This man was crying, man, real tears, man, because he was young in New York, in MUI, New York, when Malcolm was the minister. That type thing, right? Man, he was crying. Man, he said, "Man, Honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about this day, man." You know what I'm saying? I said, "Good God Almighty." So, you know, it's so much that can be said. Last point, man, the minister, after listening to the lecture yesterday, watching the whole thing, man, I mean, I heard it several times, but yesterday, I said, "Good God Almighty," the way that I processed it yesterday. First of all, if we would have followed the instructions that Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave us then, we would be free today, man. We would be free. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of toning to do. That's all, man. I don't want to hold up everybody. Somebody else might want to talk. We got a lot of toning to do. We could be free today if we would follow that man instructions, man.
Brother Apocalypse, is not too late. For those of you who are listening on, man, it's not too late. If you haven't kept your pledge, it's not too late. Love you, black man.
Love you too, so.
Peace. I see my man Pepe is in the building. One of my mentors, one of my inspirations, longtime brother, longtime friend. Pepe, salute. Yo, the lines are still, we're at the last couple of minutes of the show, man, but there's so much to talk about. There's so many aspects of this. I talked about the opposition. I talked about the fear from those who weren't involved and try to discourage us, black men trying to discourage black men from going. Why? We heard that the army was there. We later learned that the authorities were there. We later learned that Bill Clinton got out of town. We later learned that the Senate closed down. We later learned that all the law offices in the Capitol were shut down for the day, for fear that a million black men would cause a riot. But instead, what happened? It was the most peaceful day, the most serene day, the most respectful day that the world had ever seen. Part 2 next week, please. That might be possible, D. Because this deserves that much. As the brother called and pointed out, there is a conscious attempt to sweep this event out of history. But it's going to take people like you, people like me who were there to never let the spirit of the Million Man March die. Because as we later learned from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, what God gave us through being present to witness this was a glimpse of what heaven looks like. A glimpse of what the hereafter could be. Being in a place among a people that's known for their aggressiveness and their hostility, that are at peace, that are walking up. Did you see that? Did you see the clip of black men hugging one another, kissing each other on the cheeks, tears coming down their eyes, because they knew politics didn't do this. My senator didn't do this. Our mayor didn't do this. And that's the problem they had with who called the march. Because unfortunately, and I got to say it because it's true, my pastor didn't do this. But although many pastors were involved, they tried to make this a political event and tried to make this, is this all about Farrakhan? This was about God. And black men getting their lives back together in order, in line, because the community failed because we failed. We didn't go to Washington, D.C. to ask for anything. We didn't go to petition them for anything. We didn't go to ask for a handout for anything. We all paid our own way to get there. But the minister let us know. He pointed to the Capitol, but we're not here to ask them for anything. We are here to petition God to accept our atonement. And I'll close the show on this point as I go back to my final note that I wrote to myself and recounting the event. You got the sense that this was bigger than all of us. You literally felt the presence of God. Can we have that again? Is that a feeling we're willing to let go of and forget that ever happened? Not on my watch. And you shouldn't let it be on your watch either. You should be doing all you can to rekindle that spirit where you live. You should be doing all you can to rekindle that spirit on your block. Can you leave a wallet on your front porch overnight? Can you sleep with the door unlocked where you stay at? Can your grandmother walk to the corner store and not worry about the shots? If the answer is no to any of those questions, we have failed in our pledge. I was inspired as I closed. I got back on that bus. And on the bus ride home, You could hear a pin drop almost the entire ride because we were in shock of what we experienced. We were in awe, in magnificent awe of how God revealed himself and moved among the men, black men, on the mall that day. We had no idea of what we were in for and how to interpret what we just saw. It's taken me 25 years to do it, just to extend what I've described to you during the course of this show, the Rockwell Radio Show. I got home as the bus pulled into Atlanta. The people who dropped us off at the bus were there waiting to pick us up. Some waving signs, some waving pom-poms and cheering us, celebrating the historic moment that we just realized in DC. And the girlfriend that dropped me off was there to pick me up. She later became my wife. How about that? The results of the Million Man March for me have been astounding. It keeps rewarding me day after day. But now here I am at this age. Notice I left that part out how old I was. Here I am today, trying to rekindle that where I live. And I hope that you're working hard to rekindle the spirit of the Million Man March where you live. Because we can never forget. I see you, Big D. We can never forget the Million Man March. Pass it to your children. Show them the videos. Show them the pictures. Tell them about the spirit. Oh, one last point before I close. Because we're talking about the Million Man March. They tried to say it wasn't a million men. And you can't leave this part out. And there's an interview with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on, I believe it's on ABC News. And they ask him this question. Well, Minister Farrakhan, I would think that the success of the march was the spirit of atonement. Wouldn't you say that's more important than the number? Check out the minister's response. And I close on these words at the end of the show. Those men sacrificed to get here. They presented themselves as a living sacrifice to be counted, and to say that it was less of them there than actually were implies that they don't matter. And what's the saying of today? Black Lives Matter. One could say that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan is the father of that sentiment. So you will not miscount the march, he said, because every man that was there counts, matters. They sacrificed for it. They should be recognized. Get the numbers right. They tried to say only 400,000 men were there. 400,000. And then the recount gave us over 800,000. And of course, they will never tell us the truth of the men that were on the side, the rafters, the fences, the trees, on the side streets. Never let them discount the miracle that was the Million Man March. I'm out of time, y'all. If you haven't been to sign up yet, go to YouTube, subscribe to the Rockwell Radio Show. We got much, much more exciting things to talk about. For the last two shows, it's just been me talking to y'all because I want y'all to get to know your brother. But I tell you what, next Saturday, we going back at it. Got some guests to talk to, and I tell you what, it's going to be exciting. So again, this is your brother, DJ Rockwell, signing off. Till next week. Love y'all. We out of here.
Rockwell Radio.
Brothers and sisters,
Radio.
Wolverine.
Radio.
I'm listening
Radio.
to DJ Rockwell. Holla!
If I knew we died, don't. One more time. Yeah. We live. Yo. How many bodies in them one more graves? If you knew you would die tomorrow, what's one more day? One more hug, one more kiss, one more taste of your favorite dish. One more lick, one more hit, one more time to grab the mic and spit. One more dance, me and my mans, family and friends, put up your hands. Now wave that ish, shake that ish. The roof on fire, man, shake that ish. Let them know that we here to stay. Use the simple hand and say, use a straight girl if you give in to jealousy. All up in your feelings, that gon' get you kneeling. Something in your mouth, open wide through your ceiling. Top down, what he revealing is very chilling. Trying to break me, but I'm building. I'm proving to be resilient, thinking, hey, contemplating on a million, but now I'm thinking a billion. Got a scheme and it's brilliant. I'm trying to get you this message before it's too late. The way them shots left is witty, thought it was a toupee. I love McConey, you can get it on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, payday. Let's get it circulated. We're looking for you, anybody close related. Stake out like we vampire hunting, just know we waiting. All opposition must cease, none remaining. The only remains is the remains of those terminated. I'm in Metropolis, and if you play Apocalypse, I got a rifle. And the scope on top of it is Superman. X-ray vision, binoculars. The only thing guaranteed is that we're not gonna miss. My brother full Metal Gear like the Alchemist. By any means necessary, that Malcolm mix. Let it marinate, I got a crew that carry weight. Eye for eye, we give the word and we shall obey. We've been rotten like that fruit that Adam ate. I'm in a lot, they think they heavy, but they Adam weight. Do you imagine how heavy is the Adam weight? 400 years of hell, somebody gotta pay. The crazy thing is that they thought that it got away. And for why the meaning, you know I gotta say. The fruit of ism, something strange, Billie Holiday. The fruit of ism, something strange, the saints a lot of day. The exalted living Christ, Elijah's on his way. 1,500 baby planes and they go bomb away. It shouldn't be hard to find you laying in a shallow grave. Black kings deserve to be fed expensive graves. We was never no ape living in a cave. In the Caucasus Mountains where you used to stay. What goes around comes around, my mama would say. As a man sowed, the same shall he reap. We come in peace, but if you froggy then leap. Ain't nothing like a lion that's free to go eat, not eat.
We're gonna let Big Dave take us home, man. You know what I mean?